Welcome to the HFY Galaxy Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new story from HFY Galaxy Tales, where humanity always finds a way. Asterisk the exile to Earth. The council chamber of the planet Vera Prime was cold and silent. Two young women stood at the center, Lyra and Sira, hands bound by glowing cuffs. The High Elder's voice echoed through the hall. Lyra Vela, Sira Vela. You defied direct orders. You endangered the mission. For this, you will be sent to the primitive world called Earth. Lyra's jaw tightened. We saved lives. You disobeyed, the elder said, and disobedience has a price. The punishment was clear. Exile. They were given only translator, chips, basic clothing to match human styles, and a single warning: survive for one Earth cycle without revealing who you are. Fail, and you will be taken home in disgrace. Moments later, the transport ship took them away from the shining towers of Vera Prime. The stars blurred, and the blue-green sphere of Earth appeared in the viewport. The landing was rough. There, small drop pods slammed into the ground in a dense forest. Branches scraped the hull as they forced the hatch open. Cold rain poured down. Lyra pulled her hood tight. Where are we? Sira checked the pod scanner. A small human town is near. Less than 5 kilometers. They began walking, careful to avoid the main road. The translator chips in their ears hummed softly, adjusting to Earth's languages. By the time they reached the edge of the town, the rain had turned into a steady downpour. Streetlights glowed in the mist. They drew curious glances to strangers, soaked to the bone, carrying small metallic packs. A tall human man stopped in front of them. He wore a worn jacket and carried a bag of groceries. His eyes were steady, but not unkind. You too lost? He asked. Lyra hesitated. We are looking for shelter. There's a bus station a few streets over, he said, but this weather's bad. My place is close. You can wait out the storm there. Sira stepped forward quickly. We are fine, thank you. But as the man walked away, thunder rolled overhead. The cold was starting to bite, and both of them were shivering. An hour later, the rain was falling harder, and the wind cut like knives. The streets were empty now. Lyra finally spoke. We should have gone with him. Before Sira could answer, a soft beep came from her wrist scanner. She froze. Lyra glanced at it. What is it? An alien signal, Sira said. Faint, but moving. Someone else from our world is here. That's impossible, Lyra whispered. Sira's eyes darkened. Not impossible. Dangerous. They were still standing in the rain when headlights appeared behind them. The same man pulled his truck up to the curb. You're still out here, he said, frowning. Get in before you freeze. This time, neither of them argued. They climbed into the warm cab. I'm Ethan, he said as he drove you. Lyra, she answered. Sira, her sister added. Well, Lyra and Sira, welcome to Ridgefield, Ethan said with a small smile. But Lyra barely heard him. The translator chip in her ear gave a faint warning tone. The alien signal was stronger now. Whoever it was, they were close. By the time they reached Ethan's small house on the edge of town, the rain had turned into a storm. The wind rattled the windows, and lightning lit the sky in sharp flashes. Ethan showed them to a small guest room, gave them towels, and left them alone. Sira sat on the bed, her voice low. If the enforcers sent someone to watch us, we cannot be seen with him. He will be in danger. Lyra looked out the window at the dark forest beyond. Then we keep our secret. No matter what. Another beep came from her wrist scanner. The signal was right outside town now, in the quiet of the storm. Two alien exiles sat in a human house, unaware that the punishment meant to break them was about to change their lives forever. Asterisk. Hidden hearts and growing shadows. The morning after the storm, the air over Ridgefield was fresh and cool. Lyra and Sira sat at Ethan's small kitchen table while he made breakfast. The smell of coffee and toast was strange but comforting. You two from around here? Ethan asked casually. Lyra and Sira exchanged a quick glance. We travel, Sira said carefully. Ethan didn't push. Well, you're welcome to stay here a few days. Town's small, but folks are friendly if you are. Lyra nodded slowly. Thank you. Over the next week, the sisters learned the rhythm of Earth life. Ethan showed them the local market, the library, and a trail that wound through the forest. Sira learned how to cook human food, laughing the first time she burned the bread. Lyra, more reserved, spent hours reading in the corner of Ethan's living room, quietly watching him fix an old motorcycle. But at night, the warmth faded. In the quiet hours, Syrah's wrist scanner would beep. Faint alien signal, moving closer. Every night, the readings were stronger. One evening, while Ethan was out getting supplies, Lyra finally spoke the thought that had been sitting heavy in her mind. They're hunting us. Syrah looked up from the scanner. It's not a patrol, it's one signal. That means one enforcer. One is enough, Lyra replied. You know what they're like. Syrah frowned. He's going to find us eventually. And when he does, she trailed off, glancing toward the door. We leave. Before then, Lyra said, we can't let Ethan be caught in the middle. The next day, Ethan took them to the farmer's market. The streets were busy with people laughing and chatting. Music played from a nearby cafe. It was a simple place, nothing like the shining cities of Vera Prime, but there was something here Lyra had not felt in a long time. Peace. At one stall, an old woman smiled at them. You two are lucky, she said. Ethan doesn't bring many guests to market. Lyra felt a strange warmth in her chest. She glanced at Ethan, who was busy haggling for apples. That night, the signal came closer than ever. The scanner's soft pulse made the sisters tense. Less than 2 kilometers, Sarah whispered. Lyra paced the small bedroom. He's almost here. We have to go now. But before they could decide, the sound of the front door opening reached them. Ethan stepped inside, shaking rain from his jacket. You both okay? He asked, noticing their tense faces. Syrah blurted it out before Lyra could stop her. Someone is looking for us. Ethan's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? It's complicated, Lyra said. But if they find us, you'll be in danger too. Ethan looked between them for a long moment. Then they'll have to get through me first. The next afternoon, Lyra and Syrah helped Ethan stack firewood behind the house. The autumn air smelled of pine, and the low sun painted everything in gold. It was quiet until Lyra's scanner beeped sharply. She froze. He's here. From the tree line, a tall figure stepped into view. His armor was dark and seamless, the mark of the enforcers glowing faintly on his shoulder. The sisters stiffened. Ethan instinctively stepped in front of them. The enforcer's voice was deep and calm. Lyra, Syrah, your exile is over. You are to return to Vera Prime immediately. No, Lyra said. We haven't broken the rules. You have stayed too long among them. The enforcer replied, glancing at Ethan. It has already changed you. That is enough. Ethan's hands clenched into fists. You're not taking them anywhere. The enforcer's golden visor turned toward him. Human, this is not your fight. Yeah, Ethan said, stepping closer, it is now. The enforcer tilted his head, scanning Ethan for a moment, and then smiled faintly. Interesting. The moment hung heavy in the air, the forest silent around them. Love in the last stand. The enforcer stepped closer, his armored boots pressing into the soft earth. The faint hum of his suit filled the air. Step aside, human, he said to Ethan. I will take them without harm. You have my word. Ethan didn't move. Your word doesn't mean much to me. Lyra's heart pounded. She had seen what enforcers could do. They were trained from childhood to be faster, stronger, and smarter than any opponent. Ethan didn't stand a chance in a fight, but he wasn't backing down. Syrah whispered, he'll kill you. Ethan glanced back at them. Then you'd better run when he tries. The enforcer's visor glowed brighter. Interesting, he said again. Humans are not known for protecting those who are not their own. Guess you haven't met the right human, Ethan replied. Without warning, the enforcer lunged. Ethan dove sideways, grabbing a fallen branch as thick as his arm. The alien caught it easily in one hand and snapped it in two, tossing the pieces aside. But Ethan didn't stop. He slammed his shoulder into the enforcer's midsection. It was like hitting a wall, but it knocked the alien a half step back. You're stubborn, the enforcer said, almost amused, but you will lose. Lyra stepped forward suddenly, placing herself beside Ethan. We are not leaving with you. Syrah moved to his other side. If you want us, you'll have to take all three. The enforcer paused. His visor flicked from one to the other. You've forgotten what home is. No, Lyra said. We've learned what it should be. She looked at Ethan. We found it here. The enforcer studied them for a long moment. His hand moved to a device on his belt, a recall beacon. If you stay, you will never return to Vera Prime, he warned. You will be cut off from your people, your world, your bloodline. Syrah's voice didn't waver. Then so be it. The enforcer's gaze lingered on Ethan. You have changed them, he said. Not with force, not with power, with something else. It's called love, Ethan said. For a moment, the forest was still, then the enforcer pressed the beacon, and in a flash of white light, he vanished, the recall taking him back alone. The sisters stood frozen, listening to the sudden quiet. The only sound was the wind through the pines. He let us go, Sierra said slowly. No, Lyra replied, turning to Ethan. You made him let us go. They walked back to the house together. That evening, the three of them sat by the fire. Lyra leaned against Ethan's shoulder, feeling the steady beat of his heart. You risked everything for us, she said softly. Ethan shrugged. You're my friends. Sierra smiled faintly. More than friends now. Lyra met his eyes. We came here as punishment. But Earth gave us something better than home. Far away, on Vera Prime, the High Council received the Enforcer's report. His final words were simple. Earth is dangerous. Not for its weapons, nor its armies, but because of how easily humans can steal your heart. In the small human town of Ridgefield, 2 alien sisters stayed, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. And a human named Ethan knew that, for all the vastness of space, sometimes the greatest victory was simply holding on to the people you cared for.